We in the studio. We in the studio. With Rob in the studio. In the studio. In the studio. Catch a vibe in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. With Rob. We in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. Yeah, I'm in the studio with Rob. I need to make the heat flicker. Izzle on it, only thing can make a Rico beat sicker. So listen and get your wisdom. Gemstones on your head. Good with the OG like Flintstones, good in bed. Been living a long time and he got something to say. Depending on how you feeling, dog, you might got something to pray. This type of influence that you ain't gotta filter through your liver. We in the studio with Rob. Come let the heat rock simmer.
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of In the Studio with Rob. I am Rob, and I am with the one and only Mr. Perfect.
Hey.
What's going on, Izzle?
Let me put that on, build up for this one. Only come for the soul. So, alright, put it like the diaphragm, you know. Alright, it's fine. Ready? You ready?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm waiting on
you. Yeah. I'm good.
All right. It took a while, but he finally got there with us. So, hey, people. Hey, thanks again for tuning in. Welcome back. We just chilling and trying to pass on a little information, knowledge, wisdom, all that good stuff that we have.
Super positive family show.
Positive family show. And we just trying to make sure we share that positivity to uplift you.
I had other thoughts, but
we try to stay away from his thoughts. So some of his thoughts aren't positive or uplifting or positive.
Positivity, all the words that we don't like.
Yeah. So, hey, but you know what's funny though? What we gonna talk about is not positive.
Hey, let's go. Let's get it. My time to shine.
But we gonna make it. We gonna handle it in a positive way.
Now we're back.
Because what we gonna talk about though is those false allegations. When people accuse you of things that are not true. They know it's not true. Or in some cases they may not. I'm going to being on my positive side, I'm going to assume that some of them don't know.
But do we think about it the same as they don't know? I feel like the intention is a lot of the issue here.
It could be, but I'm trying to stay positive right now. We're going to get to that a little bit later, though, where we're going to change it. We're going to look at it from that, not your intent and what you accomplished, whether you intended to or not, still has some effects on people.
But we're going to start positive.
We're going to start positive.
All right, can you leave me up when we get to the...
Yeah, I'll get you. I'll get you when we get to your side. So people, I'm looking at this from business side first. Mm-hmm. I worked in government for a long time. And in working with government, you got a lot of people that's trying to get up get to the next level, promotions, different things. Depending on what you're working on, people are trying to, make sure that they have the right information to share or to grow their career. And sometimes that's at the expense of what the actual goal or mission of your office is really about. So when that happens, sometimes you can have people accuse you of things or talk to you a certain way or do certain things that are not positive and could cause you a little problem here or there. False allegations. I've had that happen to me before. I've had where, people above me actually accused me of things that wasn't true. And, I always look at it, where, for one, I'm never that concerned with it, only because if I know what the truth is, then I'm good. And I'll stand on the truth and I'll stand on what I did or didn't do. However, there's a part of me that always wanted to defend myself. And I wanted to make sure I made sure they knew that I knew what they were doing and that it wasn't going to work. Now, with that being said, when you come at me my first instinct is to defend myself violently. However, I understand that if I want to keep my job, I can't do that. So I got to come at it through more of, thinking about what's going on, thinking about who I'm talking to and how I'm going to approach them, and make sure I do it in a way that can straighten out the issue, but also leave me in a place where it doesn't affect my career going forward. And, luckily I was able to do that on a few occasions. I had one occasions where I had a supervisor that, it was funny because she was one of those people that didn't like to read. Now, we had a briefing that prepared for her as she came into the office, but she didn't like to read. So you give her the information and she don't read it. She didn't pay attention to what you gave her. And then when she had to brief out, she would pretend or act as if, or not pretend because she really didn't know, but she would go and she would pretend nobody gave it to her. But in reality, it was just that she didn't know what was going on because she never read anything. One particular time, I'm in a meeting and I had, we were in a meeting with the much higher up and being briefing them, and the person was asking her questions. She couldn't answer the question, and she flat out said, well, my team wasn't able to get this to me in time, so I didn't have a chance. And I was tired of her always making it as if we didn't do our job. So I said in front of everybody, I was like, oh, no, we gave you this a week ago and it's in here. And then I started answering the questions. The person that was in charge, the higher up, stopped talking to her and started asking me questions. We got through the meeting and, and went well after that. And after that, we went back to my boss's office, and she was like, well, why do you do that? And I told her, it's like, it's important for people to understand that, I'm not staying at the position I'm in. And I can't have people thinking I'm incompetent, slow, or not able to do the job at a high level. And what you keep doing by not reading the things that are provided to you or paying attention when you're briefed is you make me look bad. And I can't have that. So I will give you a briefing. I will give you the information you need. And if you choose not to read it or not pay attention, I'm not going to be made look like an idiot. She ain't like it too much. However, it didn't matter because the people above her understood or liked the fact that I knew what I was doing. So I had to make sure I challenged the falsehood that she was putting out in order to not have myself looking like an idiot and having my career hampered in any way. Now, for Izzle, what I would have done, or what I would have liked to have done, was to smack upside.
That's what I'm talking about. Smack him in the head. Matter of fact, smack him in the head and call me. You should have. That's what you should have.
That's what I would have liked to do.
Hey, I just had to smack. I'm on my way. That's how that would happen.
But
I
was like, yo, and just tell people off sometimes. Sometimes you want to just let them know, yo, you stupid, man.
Mad profanity, right?
It's because you stupid. It ain't because of me.
Stupid. Among other things.
Right. But understanding in business and in a professional setting, you can't do that. So you got to take a different route. However, my thing is always the same. I'm not going to let you get away with making me look bad because of your incompetence. If someone comes and we talk about false, something being said that's false. Did they mean to say it? Or did they not know that what they were saying was false? Or did they know what they were saying was false? Two different ways that you handle that.
Yeah, it comes down to, did I lie or was I wrong?
Right. And if you were wrong, we can discuss that, and I can let you know, hey, you were just wrong on this. That's not what happened.
A little bit, maybe make sure
and we cool.
Something like that.
If you lied, and we know you lied,
then I'm gonna smack. Wait, no, you can go ahead. I forgot.
Yeah, we're not gonna smack, but we gonna make sure that not only you know that I know you were lying, but everybody that you lied to will know that you lied.
And if you don't know, now you know.
this is my whole thing, in especially in if someone, and I've had people like I had people send me emails and have all these people on it to tell me off, but they were wrong. In my email, I respond back
Corporate clapback.
to let them know you was wrong and blah blah blah. To everybody, I'm responding to all,
Just
because
like
that's
you
who
said.
you. And then what I would get is I apologize with just me on it.
Nah.
Now what I do is I
right
respond to all again
I
and say
accept
thank
your-
you. I accept your apology. Because I'm not gonna let you get away with lying
you go.
and hide. You can't hide your lie.
He be trying.
And don't apologize to me in private when you tried to embarrass me in public. So I think those are things when people accuse you or falsely, was it a lie or were they wrong? And if they were wrong, give them some grace. Even if they were a lie, if they were lying, you can have some grace too. But I'm gonna correct your lie. I'm giving you grace because I ain't go upside your head. But I'm gonna correct it because your lie can't be allowed to stand, and people start believing it's a truth. And people always say, "Well, I'm just speaking my truth." Your truth was a lie. So don't tell me you speaking your truth. There is the truth or there's a lie. There ain't no your truth. That whole everybody got, well, they just speak their truth. No, if it ain't the truth, it's a lie. I can't have my own personal truth. So I gotta respond to make sure that you don't disparage my name and what I've been working for all these years. And I think sometimes with young people, when y'all go into businesses and corporations and different places of work, you don't understand that you have the right and you have the authority to correct when someone is calling you out when you're wrong, when they're wrong. Now, if you messed up, then you own that. Own the fact that you messed up. That's cool, because everybody mess up. But don't allow people to just disparage your name because they feel like it, or take credit for your work because they feel like it. You have the right to correct the wrong, and you should speak up for yourself. Now, I always, sometimes it's like people will say something and it's like, well, do I really care? Ain't no big deal. And a lot of times I'm just let it roll because I don't care. And what you're saying doesn't affect me in a way that I should care. Some people so sensitive, they respond to everything. Every time somebody say something, their feelings hurt, or, and they got to, I don't know, I got to respond. Why? Sometimes you just adding fuel to the fire, because sometimes your work and your good name will stand on its own. I got people that many times come to me, yo, man, I know that wasn't true. Nah, that wasn't true. That's why I ain't even say nothing, because I know nobody gonna believe what they said about me, and I can let it rock. But then others,
sometimes you just gotta throw some.
Sometimes you do. But like I said, other times it ain't worth it, because what you do is you start sometimes when you need to fight back all the time. What you do is you create this environment, or you add fuel to an environment that's already heated, and it's like, nah, I don't need that, because again, nobody gonna believe this anyway. So it's no need for me to go fighting back and forth with somebody, or the person is so far beneath me that it's like, yo, that ain't even worth it. We don't even have to get into this, because I have no need to defend myself to somebody who works well below me. So whatever they think don't even matter. So it's understanding when you need to fight and when you shouldn't fight. Your character has to work for you. If you don't have a good work standard, or your character at work and your integrity at work is not high, then you're gonna be fighting stuff all the time. But you created that. So a lot of that may not be false. But even if it is false, because you have such a low work standard, people gonna be more suited to believe it.
Okay, so we know we can't smack people at work.
You can't smack people at work.
Well, I just found out, but
Yeah.
sure. Apparently, that's the thing.
Right.
Try to keep that in mind going forward. So off of work though, like let's say it's like a relationship-y type of thing.
Right.
How
You can't smack somebody in a relationship either.
No, you definitely. Well, so
No.
I was thinking about the same-sex thing. The same, like let's say it's like two dudes.
Right.
Right there, the push that in the mouth.
You really, it depends on what you want to gain out of a relationship
Oh, true.
or gain from the confrontation.
Okay, so
Do
assuming
you-
it's not a same-sex
Yeah.
relationship and
Okay.
you shouldn't hit them.
Right.
How
So,
should
again-
you do that?
Again, I think it's important to. There are times where people are they wrong? Again, are they wrong, or are they lying on you? If I'm in a relationship, let's say me and my wife get into a conversation, and I said something.
That's the one.
Yeah, you said blah blah blah, whatever the blah 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 is. I didn't say that. Now, I can tell you you're wrong, but you ain't gonna believe me because you believe I said it. I can believe that you lying, but I don't know if it's true that you lying or if you're wrong. However, my thing is I'm gonna tell you that's not what I said, and if that's what you understood me to say, then I apologize for not being clear. I want you to understand exactly what I'm saying and say what I mean. That way, I can squash the fight before it even really start. Because what you saying when you say you said is now that's what you gonna stand on your battle with is what you think I said. But if I say that was not what I said, or that's not what the way I want, or if you took it that way, let me clarify. You can no longer stand on that lie or that wrong verbiage that you thought you heard.
That's smart. Sean got no legs to stand on at that point. You won
Right.
You win a lot.
I don't lose, bro.
It's about to be the last episode.
I don't lose. So I always win. But again, the problem is that we don't. The reason why I don't always win with that is because sometimes I go emotional. I go emotional instead of logical. If I stay logical, I will always win because I can clarify whatever was said or not. The problem is when you get emotional, you ain't thinking that way to say, let me clarify.
Get you back.
Right.
Whatever you said that I ain't like.
And so therefore you lose no matter what, you just lost. It ain't gonna matter. So now y'all playing into emotions. So nobody gonna win. But what I want people to understand is that, one, stop being so sensitive and handle the allegation with your head and not your heart. Because if you handle it with your head, you'll figure out the best way to clear up any falsehoods that are being said about you. The problem is most of us go into it and we get so emotional because we're too sensitive, and then we end up making the situation worse. So it ain't that deep. It's not that deep. If you told your wife that, babe, I believe you did X, Y, and Z, and she like, no, I didn't. I did this. And in your mind, you really believe she did it. Is it false because I believe it? Or is it false because it never happened? Which one? I mean, how does that work? So in reality, the bottom line, if it didn't happen, it's false, no matter what you believe. So I need to make sure I got to explain to her what I heard or what I believe I heard so that I give her the opportunity to clear it up. And that goes with anybody, whether it's, my personal relationship, a business relationship, or just some random Joe. I'm going to give you the opportunity to clear this up. And we can handle this conversation the right way without me putting hands on you. Because ultimately, I think when we get emotional, that's where it ends up going, because people have lost control. So, it's kind of like, I also have to, when I talk about explaining it, it's like I have to understand what part in that allegation did I play a part in? Did I play a part in it at all? Sometimes people just make up some random nonsense that make no sense. But in a lot of cases, the part that I may have played in it was that I wasn't communicating properly. So I didn't communicate my intent or my thought well enough for them to get the right understanding. That's my part that I played in it. I didn't communicate well. Now, in those cases where I had no part and you just making up some random stuff, hey, that's a different conversation on how we handle that.
Yeah. I mean, and some people I feel like are just committed to misunderstanding you. Like they want to feel like you're not making sense so that they can, respond.
And yes, and I'll ask you this though. Is that the case, or are you, or do you, because for me personally, I'll put it this way. I had this thing in my head for a long time where I get frustrated with people. If I say something to you and you ain't get it, I think that's because you dumb. And I want to move on. As opposed to understanding that everybody communicates or understands things differently at different levels. So it's on me as the communicator to make sure you understood me. So, did you intentionally not understand me, or did I, with my arrogance, not have the patience to make sure you understood?
The first one. They were always going to go with the first one.
Yeah, we're going to blame other people.
Yeah,
but but in reality, we do have to think about it sometimes. It's like, and again, I'll say it from, like I said, for me personally, I used to get so frustrated when I talk to people and they don't understand. And it's like, yo, how dumb are you? And I'm not going to keep telling you the same thing over and over again.
Especially
but that's
if I feel like I said it like in the most simple way.
However, but again, that's where my arrogance was in there. I got to figure out how to go even simpler.
Simpler mean dumber. If you got to go simpler, like
then
my brain don't work that
I got to figure it out. I got to figure out how to communicate to you at whatever level you're at. If you somebody that I talk to, and not just automatic.
Level, then we just gonna have to stop communicating. Like, what are we doing? I can't do this.
I think it's too easy for us to blame the other person and not look at how we communicate. And again, I'm not saying it's easy, because again, for me, it's more, like I said, I'd get my brain hurt trying to think of another way to say this to you without saying, get out my face because you stupid. Because that's what I want to say, but I can't say that. So, I mean, and so in most cases, I would just stop talking to him. But what I realized is that creates some of the falsehoods that are then put out on people. They like, oh, he arrogant, or he's or he think he all that, or he don't have time for people. And it wasn't that. It was just
that stuff was mad true.
Don't
have time for people.
It wasn't that I had time for people. I got tired. I got frustrated though, and my thing is, I'm not gonna allow people to push me to frustration or to any other level I don't want to be at. So you don't have the ability to frustrate me. Why? Because you ain't that important. So you're not gonna frustrate me. So we're gonna move on. But again, I'm trying to help people understand, the falsehoods that are created. A lot of times they're created by us, not communicating well. Not all the time. A lot of times people just want to do and say what they want to do and say. And that has to do with jealousy. And they jealous of the way you are, or they jealous of what you have and they want it. So therefore they create things. They create, it'd be like that girl that you got your girlfriend and she telling you your man ain't no good all the time. because she ain't got no man. And you letting it go, and it's like, yo, you starting to believe the falseness about your man because of the girl that ain't got nobody. Or the guy that keep telling you that, you wouldn't like a job because he don't want you to apply for the job that he want. No, it's, so we got to understand certain things and why things happen, and it makes it easier to address them too. Because if I address a falsehood because, you made an allegation against me because you were trying to stop me from getting more or trying to get what I was trying to get, then I'm going to handle it differently from just the fact that you said, well, I thought this was real, and that's why I said it or I did it. So I need to understand why you're doing what you're doing too. So some of that is, making sure we're clear on the motive, or try to get as clear as possible on the motive of the other people.
Yeah, because you have to do your due diligence. Otherwise, you just be slapping people for no reason sometimes. So you want to make sure you're slapping people for justified reasons.
Or not slapping them, but handling the situation in the right way for a justified reason.
Oh, I thought we were on the same page, but then I realized we weren't. Yeah, do the thing he said.
Yeah. So, but again, sometimes, look.
Sometimes what? Slap people?
Sometimes you just got to have a conversation that's going to make sure that everything is clear.
And sometimes you need visual cues.
A visual cue is I look at you sternly and I give you a strong eye contact to let you know, don't do that no more.
And if you do it again, then it's going to be strong contact with my hand in your face.
So we going to handle this the right way, though.
Or we going to handle it.
So again, I think that as smart as we are.
We, like you and me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
We can handle any situation without putting our hands on people. When we choose to put our hands on people, it's not because we couldn't handle it the other way. True. It's just that it might have been more fun to do it. So I'm saying for us now, we're no longer doing that. Because, we're beyond that now. We've grown. And so we're going to do better. So.
Wait, consistently?
Consistently don't mean always.
Oh, wait.
Consistently means.
I'm back kind of on board.
Yeah.
Positivity be okay sometimes.
Yeah, consistently. We will consistently do it. But don't test me.
Exactly.
So,
I'm consistent with that little backtrack that I do when I slap you.
So, I got big hands for a reason. They lay beside your head. But
I got
anyway.
little hands, but they fast.
So with that, hey people, I hope y'all got something. Look, don't get caught up in people falsehood, but you got to address it. Don't be afraid to address people putting out false allegations against you. Address it, handle it the right way, and then you move on.
Because at the end of the day, it's your name.
It is your name, and you don't want. Look, I used to tell people all the time, only thing when I go to work, when people say, "Oh, Robert Sanders did this" or "Robert Sanders did that," it's got to be positive. I don't want nobody saying, "Oh, Robert Sanders used to be here," or "He did this," and then they looking like, "Oh man, I got to redo this." No, so my name meant a lot to me, and it means a lot to me, and it should mean your name should mean a lot to you. So address when people are saying something, our name, but and your name should mean a lot to you. So when people come at you with the negativity and the false allegation, address it. Deal with it to make sure that you stay in high standings at work or in your relationship. So with that, we got a couple minutes here, so we just gonna see what's up. What's going on with you, Israel?
This entire episode has got me to just reminisce on basically just all the people I've smacked over the years. Like, it's just. Honestly, it's really... people think that violence is overrated. When I saw that Will Smith joint, remember the Will Smith joint? When he slapped Chris Rock?
Uh-huh.
That was inspiring to me. I felt like... And I've always, had a deep personal connection with Will Smith since a child. He's been my favorite actor. So when he did that, I was like, I've been doing things that he was going to one day do too. It's like we connected in that way. So one of the people that you look up to, like as an actor, musician, or whatever, it's smacking people too. So it's like, how do you not feel great about that?
I think to me,
Wait,
I
wait,
never.
wait. Before you answer, close your eyes real quick. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Close your eyes. All right. Now I want you to think. Let's go back like 40 years. The last person you smacked. That probably wasn't 40 years ago, but you seen it 40 years ago. So 40 years ago, somebody got on your nerves. You did the little eye narrow thing that you be doing, and you just smacked them.
Mm-hmm.
How did that feel?
It felt bad. I felt bad.
For him?
I felt bad for me.
You felt bad for you immediately after? Mm-hmm. Are we just potting? All right.
I felt bad. I felt bad because I felt like I allowed somebody else to control my actions.
You felt like that 40 years ago?
Uh-huh.
Okay, all right. So, guys,
I never like people to control my actions. I like to do stuff because I want to do it, not because I lost control at a moment and did something.
okay. So you trying to say right now that you didn't want to smack that person,
No, I reacted.
but you didn't want to.
No,
smack
I reacted. So there was no one. There was a animalistic reaction, not a. I've hit people and wanted to do it, and that I had no problem with that.
Oh, so this
'Cause
wasn't the last.
You said the last person.
Right.
That was a
You
reaction.
remember the last person you smacked?
Yeah, because it was the last person I smacked.
I know, but that's
So,
all right.
but
all right.
so that
let's
was
not-
a reaction.
Matter of fact, actually, this is good. So continue talk about that one.
Yeah, so
We gotta talk about
so
that.
I don't like to respond from reactions. I like to think about what I want, and if I want to do it, then I decide this is the best thing for me to do.
Right.
And so that was one of those times where I didn't, and so yeah, I it didn't,
Now think about the last person you smacked that you wanted to smack. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yo, I'm smacked. Boy, if I see you outside and then you saw him outside, you smacked him. That one, the one that the premeditated smack.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like it's I owe you one. How did that feel?
I felt good.
All right, guys. So
I
this has
enjoyed
been a great episode on balance. So it's cool sometimes to feel bad. You want to smack people only under control. And if you don't take anything else away from this episode, just remember only smack people when you mean it.
Hey,
All right?
if you want to take something, and don't smack people. But if you smacking people because you want to, there are understand consequences. That's all. There are
yeah.
consequences.
Take everything into account.
So when you decide, and that's why I say when you react, you don't think about the consequences. But if you thought about those consequences, be like, yo, if I get locked up or I get this, it's gonna be well worth it. Then it is what it is. I can't tell you what to do. But I'm telling you, keep your hands to yourself. Use your words. And it's funny.
Use your words while you smack them too. That's better. What up? Told you, don't get my face.
So use your words. Keep your hands to yourself, and let's all get along, people.
We should definitely change this episode title. It's Smoking Mirrors. It's gonna be Smoking Mirrors, guys. But
No. That was Smoking Mirrors was a while ago.
No, yeah, right.
This false allegation.
This false allegations. So false allegations. We're gonna change it to smack people sometimes.
Nah, we're not. We're gonna say don't keep your hands to yourself.
You know what, guys? After this, we're gonna have another meeting and we'll talk about it. So it's probably gonna be smack people sometimes, but smack people for false allegations.
Yeah, neither one. But with that, people, we appreciate you guys, and we're gonna get out of here so we can stop talking about smacking people, even though it is fun sometimes.
It might be you.
So yeah, but hey, if that happens, you'll hear him screaming through this. So I won't be. But anyway, we gonna get away from the smacking.
Now we doing false allegations.
Yeah.
I'm not a screamer. I don't be screaming.
Yeah. So we gonna move away and we gonna move on. And I hope you guys got something out of it. I don't know if you got something out of it.
People sometimes.
I don't know. Maybe you ain't getting nothing out of this, and if you didn't, I'm sorry. It was all.
I did. I think everybody that's
fault.
watching this and be a little bit toxic.
I will say, address your allegations without using your hands. Use your words.
Okay, so then, all right, let's say that. Address the allegations
without using your hands.
Using your hands, unless you absolutely
use
have to.
your words.
Yes, exactly what he said. Unless
use your words.
Yes, use your words. Whether you got to smack them or not, like tell them why you're smacking them. Because why you shouldn't just smack people when they don't know why you smack them. So you're right. Absolutely, use your words and explain why you're smacking.
So this might be one of them episodes that get people to say, "This boy a fool." But
no, I'm not.
But either way, we're not gonna do that. So we are gonna move and be happy and love one another and share the love of God, which has no smacking of each other. We're gonna talk.
God was smacking mad people in the Bible. He smacked them with water.
He just killed them, but they needed it. But we don't know nobody that need that. So we gonna we gonna say we gonna use our words. So again, people, like I said, this episode might be like we want y'all to listen to it, but don't take too much out of it. Don't take too much from
In the
it.
studio, Rob does not support no violence or bullying of any sort.
Yeah, don't take too much out of this one, but just listen to it anyway.
I basically just listen to everything he said.
Yeah, so
Me.
So we appreciate you guys, and we're gonna get at y'all soon.
Thank you for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend, and tell a friend. All of the things. Thanks for joining us. Remember, as always, we are in the studio with Rob. He is Rob. I just look like him.
Peace.
Gotta go.
Studio. We in the studio. We in the studio. With Rob in the studio. In the studio. In the studio. Catch a vibe in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. With Rob. We in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. Catch a vibe. Yeah, I'm in the studio with Rob. I need to make the heat flicker. Is alone and only thing can make a Rico beat sicker. So listen and get your wisdom. Gemstones on your head. Good with the OG like Flintstones. Good in bed. Been living a long time and he got something to say. Depending on how you feeling, dog, you might got something to pray. This type of influence that you ain't gotta filter through your liver. We in the studio with Rob. Gonna let the heat rock simmer.